Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. P is for Plog. This is my kind of weekly recap of my life as a professional plogger, and it's just going to be like every other week. It's full of like, how am I going to get the money and things like that, but it's a little bit different. It's similar to the last one. See, I'm rambling now. Let's just get on to it. This is season 2, episode 18. P is for Permutable. I had to look up a word that would suit, and that's what I chose. Let's get going.
Plug it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plug it and tag it and post it.
So what does permutable mean? It means changeable, basically. And that is the story of things as they stand. I talked about last time about pivot, about having to change strategy, the fact that sponsorship's not working, so I'm going to look at sort of doing collabs and that kind of thing. And it's kind of more in the same sort of space, except it just shows you how much it's changing. I'm having to pivot all the time, or things are changing all the time. If you ask me, and this has actually happened a few times, if people have asked me how it's going, I've told them one thing, the next day it's completely different. And in fact, I recorded this podcast on Friday. It's changed since then, and I recorded it on Thursday, and it's changed since then. So already there's been another change that's coming in, and it is just chaotic. It's volatile, but volatile doesn't begin with a P. So what's going on? What's happening? What's the story? Why is changing? What's changed and things like that? Well, I think I'll go to the start of this week and just give you a recap of kind of the changes that have gone on. So I got to the start of this week, and I'll say I was really in hyperventilating mode. I was like, okay, I don't think I can pay this. I told everyone I can't pay the mortgage, and it was like that. It was I'm on fumes in terms of just trying to struggle, get things through. There's some money that's coming in, but is it enough to cover the bills, etc. We've managed to make it, which is good, which is a relief. But then you kind of go, okay, next month what happens? So the hyperventilating was really in full effect. I wasn't quite in having a panic attack, but I was really starting to get stressed, thinking what's going to go on, because I'd made that decision to get a part-time job. But I was just chatting to someone last week, and they were saying, or in fact this week just gone, and then they said, they've been trying to get a job for ages. And they said, the problem they have is they go and apply for something and they say, they're too senior for that position. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a part-time job where I could go into an office and do the things I love doing. In effect, I seriously love just making spreadsheets. I love making PowerPoint presentations. I just love it. It's a creativity that has a sort of IT nerd element to it. And that for me would be just playtime. It wouldn't be I wouldn't get bored doing it at all. But I was a bit worried, people will think, hang on, he's sort of done all these things, he's going to be bored. But that wasn't true. So I was getting a bit of a panic mode, thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to find a job. And then I was also thinking, all right, I want to get a job. I still haven't actually updated my CV, still haven't actually gone and made any applications to anyone. I'm thinking, if I do find a job that I can apply for, it could be 2 months before I get it. So panic mode about that. So at the start of the week, it was really bad. I came back from a cleanup, but then to show you how it changes so quickly, I came back from a cleanup and I was just dropping off the grabbers that I'd borrowed from the Criminal Lobby, which are one of my sponsors. I just sort of went there and was talking to Jasper from there and talking about my situation. Then within 5 minutes, I'd got a job, and in fact, a perfect job that is just ideal. And so I'm incredibly grateful to the Criminal Lobby. So they are a sponsor of mine. They're only a small organization that do project work for sustainability projects. Think of it like when you go to a festival, you see someone doing cleanups. We've got the Grand Prix at the moment in Sunfort, and you can actually see people picking up trash, and those are members of the Chrono Lobby. So they kind of do that thing. And so I'm going to be doing canvassing. So just for, it was like, what days do you want to do? Is there space in the rota? Oh yeah, there is. Okay, you can do those days. And they're really sort of helping me out on that. So, and the perfect thing with this is this, I didn't realize it until it happened, but the brilliant thing about this is it's in effect tijdelijk. It's sort of just really temporary work. But that's perfect, because one of the things that I was a little bit stressed about getting a job in an office was, if I get that, I don't want to just sort of stop doing it if things pick up. I mean, what happens if things do pick up? What happens if I do make enough money that I can do this full time? I didn't want to sort of take a job on really that I would just give up at a drop of a hat. I really wanted to say, right, I'm doing this job and I will stick with it. So, but then the downside of that is, okay, that's fine. But then next year, I've got a couple of months. I want to just really focus on some specific projects. And that would be one of them I think I can do, the one I'm going to do in February, but the one in the summer, sort of a little bit later on in the year, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd have to give that up. Now there is a chance I could still do it if I've got enough money coming in. If I haven't, then I'll keep on doing temporary work. So I think temporary work is really sort of the place to sort of try and focus on. And so I'm not saying I'm in an okay position now, but I'm in an okay for this moment, which means that I can actually sleep without being so overly stressed, although that's still there. So that's how it just suddenly changes. It's like one day bottomless pit, next day there's a light shining of hope, next day bottomless pit, next day light shining of hope. It's really going up and down all the time. It is just unbelievably crazy. And I think, this is the lifestyle that many people do that do contracting, consulting, that are like just self-employed. So what I'm doing is nothing that's unusual. I think probably the difference here is it's not really unusual for other people. Other people have got the same thing going on in their lives. For me, it's a little bit different. I've always done, okay, I'm doing a project for an IT project and that's 6 months. So I just know, right, bang, that's 6 months work, bang, solid. It's not, right, I've got this to do, this to do, this to do. This month is a completely new element that I've got to try and figure out how to do. So permutable is a perfect word because it is just so changing all the time. Just can't get my head around it. Some other things that are sort of coming in, and it's like, and the problem I've got is, I am getting these things coming in. I've got some really good projects that are coming up soon, and I've got a couple of things that I've been doing last week. I did 2 cleanups this week, which were absolutely fantastic, amazing, and loved them. So I'm getting work in. It's just not quite to the level that I need to cover my costs and things. And that's sort of the problem. And I've got some really exciting stuff coming in. And there was one that I was really excited about, and I've actually got it here. So if you're looking at the video, or let me do some ASMR. This is me drinking let me turn it around. So this isn't an advert. They're not sponsoring me for this. This is just me doing it because I want to, and I'll talk more about that in a second. This is me ASMR having one of the shakes. Oh, this is good. This is brilliant because when I recorded this last time, so was this Friday, Saturday? I don't know when it was. When I recorded it, I did exactly that. So I had the shake deliberately, and I swallowed it. And I was trying to talk and breathe and drink, and I was literally choking on it. And so I had to say, sorry, look, trust me, it's kind of a nice shake. I just have to. I'm choking on it. So I didn't choke on it there, which is good. So back to the plenty shake. So one thing that's happened as well is I've had my first full-on proper serious contract signing collab. So I've done some collabs in the past where I've got some money, and it's like, yeah, okay, do this, market as ad, get some money and things like that. It was all pretty sort of chilled. This was really whitelisting, sign it, we've got copyright, blah, 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 blah. It was like, we're going to do a campaign. I even got notification on Instagram, your campaign with this brand is going to be running during this period. It was like, this is the stuff that's going to be on there. It was like really full on. It's really exciting to do. And hopefully that's the first of many. Now I can use that as well. The benefit of this one is I can use it and say, right, I've done these kind of things. I can do them. It was sort of basically, I had to make a video, had to include all of this content about the sale that they've got on, about the vitamins that are in there and all that sort of stuff, and sort of do it. But I had to do it in a way I felt comfortable with. No, let me talk about that a little bit because it was quite funny. So with the Plenty Shake, they'd actually contacted me last year. Last year they'd sort of contacted me, and I said, no, I don't do shakes and stuff. So it wasn't really something I was interested in at all. But now I've done it. So what has made me suddenly be willing to do a shake? Well, I mean, let's be brutally honest, they're paying me. I think, and I'll come back to that in a second. But the reason why the company did actually, Jimmy Joy, who are the company, the reason why I did sort of go, okay, let's do some work when they contacted me again this year is when I did the May adventure, I started getting used to having recovery shakes. So this isn't a recovery shake. This is just sort of a shake alternative for a meal, although they're not saying it's a replacement, they're just talking about it as a shake. But I got a bit used to using the recovery shake during the May holiday, and I was like, oh, actually, if you sort of like do it I found a way that I kind of enjoyed. The reason why I was never really a shake person goes back to when I did the Marathon des Sables, and that's actually the problem I have with gels as well, is when I did the Marathon des Sables in 2000, I had all of these powdered drinks and things like that, and I got so sick of it during that week in the Sahara that I couldn't face it and I couldn't stomach anymore. But because of the May adventure, I had to force myself to have recovery shakes so I could sort of be recovered on sort of quick enough and sort of get the things I needed in. And I kind of got used to it, and I kind of enjoyed it. And I discovered that for me, it is actually, once I got over that PTSD that I had all those years, once I managed to sort of fight my way through that, I realized that, okay, these shakes are really good for me. One of the problems I have is, and many of you know that from the May adventure, is I struggle getting nutrients in food in. I was like doing the whole marathons without any food in, and I could get away with it because I spent my whole life, or because of, for whatever reason, I kind of nearly every run I do is fasted. When I was doing I was working full time, I'd have to get my run done in the morning. I wasn't an evening runner, I was a morning runner, but I could never really just have something quick to eat and then go for a run. It just didn't sit well on my stomach. And so that meant that every time I went running, it was as a fasted run. So I went out on an empty stomach and just sort of did that. And I think my body just got so used to it. That's the reason why May happened like it did. But what I discovered with those shakes it sounds a bit like a promotion, but it's not. It's just me explaining sort of why I'm sort of quite happy to do this now. So what I discovered was, oh, hang on, I can take these calories in through liquid. They settle better in my stomach. I can just sort of get it down, and I can still run straight away after. So the Plenty Shakes is I'm actually going to be using in the future, and this is one of the important things that I want to do when I do collaborations. What I'm going to be doing is using these shakes in the morning before I go for a run, or I've got a shake now, I can just sort of use it and just get it in between. It just sits quite nicely, doesn't sort of fill me up, but gets the food I need in. I'm going to have to stop drinking, aren't I? And that was one of the things I wanted to do so I got this collaboration post that I needed to do. And I was like thinking, how can I feel comfortable doing an advert in effect. How can I feel comfortable selling a product and feel comfortable doing it? Well, the wine that I've sort of what happens if a brand comes to me that is non-vegan and says, we want you to promote this? How can I do that? And I mean, I don't think they will, but yeah, if they do come to me and say, let's promote this, and I go, oh, and I've decided, no, I will, because that brand has come to me and is willing to pay me money, which is basically allowing me to do my daily plogs. And that's why I'm really against. So let's say Red Bull comes to me, or Shell. Let's say Shell, oil company. If an oil company comes to me and said, we'll sponsor you, would I do it? Yes, I would. There's very few companies I would say no to. And for me, I am just not even going to get involved in the greenwashing thing or anything like that. If people want to take that view, that's fine. For me, that company's coming to me and is willing to pay me money, and that money is letting me do what I want to do. So that was sort of how I first looked at it with doing collabs. Look, they are supporting me. Screw them. Doesn't matter how bad they are. They're letting me do this, and my work, I'm focused on. No, I'm not focused on being against things. I'm focused on being for people taking action and their daily lives, little small positive actions. So that's how I lived with it. But then I was like, okay, well, is that good enough? And so what they did, what Jimmy Joy did with their Plenty Shakes, is they gave me some, a couple of bags of it and a whole sort of selection of the bars, which are also really nice. Apart from the cherry flavor, I do not do cherry. Do not offer me a cherry flavored snack. Someone else, if you've got a cherry bar, if you like cherry, come to me. I've got a cherry bar for you. You can try it. So I was thinking, okay, they've given me these things. What do I ethically feel, what is for me the most important thing to do? And for me is to use them. So that's what I found a way that I like to use them. I've got a Plenty bar here. That's that noisy ASMR noise. So, and it's a bit beaten up. So if you look at it, it's a little bit broken and everything, because I just have it in my bag ready for when I need it. I took it to the cleanup this week and it was there just in case I needed to have something to eat. I didn't in the end, so it came back with me, but it's there ready for when I need to, and it's more substantial than just a regular sort of energy bar or anything, or like a muesli rape, a sort of muesli bar. It's more substantial than that. And the some of the flavors are really nice. The lemon pie is awesome. Oh, it is really good. So I'll be definitely getting more of those, because one of the things they've done is they're paying me with I've got some money, and they've also given me store credit. So I will be definitely using that store credit. So going back to what I ethically feel is the right thing to do, is I'm going to be drinking all of it. I'm going to be drinking all of the stuff they give me, all the bars apart from the cherry. I'll be eating all of those, so that if people do come to me, I give them an honest impression. And I really want them to DM me privately, so they get an honest impression from me of what I think about it, whether it's going to work for them, because it will work for some people, it won't work for others. I think the most important thing that the company wants is to have someone that is going to enjoy the product, not someone that's going to sort of get the product and regret it. So, I promised the last bit. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so they asked me to do this. They came to me and said, right, we need to do these things, do it in your style. They were like pretty good, but I had certain things to say. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do a 3-hour run and just take the shake with me and actually shake it up while I was on my run. So that was the whole plan, and I did that and came back. But they only give you, that's all right, it's going to be 1 minute long. They had so many words in there. I was like, and it's all in Dutch as well, which makes it tougher for me to be really comfortable sort of talking in Dutch. So many takes, about 600 million takes to get it right. So I did it, and they were so sweet. They went, oh, it's really good. It's almost right, which was basically them saying, what the hell have you done? Let's redo it. they would just do it a little bit more, so it shows a bit more of your plogging, because that's some values that we really love with you and that we align with. Yeah, we really love what you're doing, and we support it. And so they wanted me to bring out some of the element. So I had to sort of re-edit it quickly, but I think we got something that was nice, and for me, it is something I'm proud of. It's something authentic, and it's true to me. I didn't say anything in there that I did not agree with, and I was actually enthusiastic for. So, yeah. Anyway, that was. Hopefully, there's more of these sort of kind of collabs to sort of come. Oh, I'm coughing now. I'll grab a bit more. It's me talking. I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't talk and have food while during a podcast. No reflection on the shake. Just so obviously, clearly, podcasting and drinking doesn't work for me. So what else is new? I think one of the I've actually run out of things to say now. My podcast I did last time was like 35 minutes. One of the things I did want to say, oh yeah, I know the other, and I said things have changed. So since the last episode, so what has changed since the last episode? I've got a few things that have become more solidified in terms of projects that are coming up, but I'm not going to talk about those yet. I'm going to save those for another one. But one of the things that did change, and I actually did it when I was editing the podcast. I didn't realize the sound came out so bad. So I was editing it and stuff. And I thought, I was talking about the Insta360s that I'd won. And I know I talked about it last time. I'm not going to talk about it too much. But then I thought, hang on, why don't I just sign up for the affiliate program? So I thought, all right, I'll do that. So since I recorded that one and it failed, I have now become an affiliate supplier. Well, I don't know. I'm part of the affiliate program. I think that's how you say it, of Insta360. So what does that mean? Well, so what I won, and if you're watching the video, you can sort of see it now. So I won this. There we go. You can see it there. So I won that, which was an Insta360 Ace Pro 2. So that's the camera that I won. Hopefully I'm going to be in the running for the main prize of 3,000, which is the reason why I was really doing it. But either way, I've got sort of a nice camera in there. And what that meant was I actually went fully into, one of the reasons I was excited about winning this camera, or happy to win this camera, was that I'm now fully in the Insta360 ecosystem. So just as a sort of, for those that don't know, there's kind of three main brands that live in this space of action cameras. There's GoPro. I was a GoPro user for years and years, and it's only in the last year that I stopped using GoPro. They just lost the plot. But I think they're coming back this year. So I suspect within a month, I'll do a podcast and say, GoPro are back in the game, and I really believe that, and I really hope it as well, because they are, through them, I really have embraced the action camera environment fully, and they become so important for me. I've always sort of said, when you pick up a piece of trash, you make an impact, but when people see you doing it, then you can make a difference. And the things that helps me be seen are the GoPros, the action cameras, the cameras that I use, and they've become really important. So you got GoPro, you got DJI, and you've got Insta360, and it's got a point where they're all really good. They've all got benefits over each other. There's like, this one's got this one's not on that one and stuff. So I'm not saying there's an outright leader, but for my use case, Insta360 is the right ecosystem to be in, and you get benefits of being in that ecosystem more than you have of, I use DJI for this, I use GoPro for this, and I use Insta360 for this. I think you get a little bit more benefit of being in one ecosystem. It doesn't mean you have to be against the other ones, but yes, I'm in the Insta360 camp, so it kind of makes sense that I'd want to be on the affiliate program, because it's something that I've purchased nearly all of their items, and won one of them, which means that, now for whatever reason, I'm just fully on board. So what have I got? I've kind of got so this is the action camera that I won. So I've got that. I've also got of course, I've got sort of the X5. That's the 360 camera, and I had the X4 before it. And I'm really a huge fan of the 360 cameras now. So it's taken me a year to get used to how to use them, but I really love them. So I've got that. I've also got the little Go 3S, which is the sort of the little sort of camera that just sort of pops out. So you can just sort of pop it out. If I could sort of, there you go. So it just sort of pops out and just becomes this sort of little camera now. So I've got that. And you're actually seeing here, so on the this is actually being recorded on the Insta360 webcam, the link. So, and I really love that as well. I think that's really good. So I've got these 4 products, so it makes sense that I would join the affiliate program. So what does it mean? Well, in the links below, if you use those links, if you want to buy one of these items, come to me, ask me honest questions, and I will answer you honestly. If you want, if it, sometimes it will work for you, sometimes it won't. But if you were to go, right, I want to buy the webcam, which is awesome. So you can do this. Should I do it now? Look, let me just put auto framing on. Here we go. Auto framing. How cool is that? And I can sort of change, let's get rid of auto framing, and I can just sort of do bokeh and sort of get a sort of on the effects. Let's do the effects. Let's have a try a few. Let's do blur. Can I do blur? Oh, I'll draw it. Oh, here we go, bokeh. Is that a little bit more bokeh? Yeah, so I can change the intensity. Oh, look at that. See? I just had it on blur. Let's do the blur. Oh, there you go. So, yeah. So, let me take that off. So I really love this webcam. So if you were to buy, you say, all right, I want to buy one of these. And if you use the links below in my description, then it doesn't cost you any more. And usually with Insta360, basically there's a set price. They don't you can't really shop around. This is the price you get. So you might as well get it from the Insta360 site. If you get it from the Insta360 site and you go there using my link, then what happens is I get a little bit of money back from it. So, let's say it costs you, I get 5%, basically I get 5%. So 5% of the purchase price that you paid, they give me. So that's kind of how the affiliate links work. So you don't pay 5% extra. I just get 5% of their sale, so which is a really nice sort of little return. I don't know if anyone will ever do it, but I thought, why not? So affiliate links are just a no-brainer, really. If someone does, then it helps me. So yeah, so just and I'll probably just get affiliate links for DJI and for GoPro as well. Why not? Because sometimes they work better for others. So that's one of the things that has changed, is the fact that I'm now got affiliate links, and that's the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do is just to make sure that I get as many different types of revenue stream as I can. So last night I was up till 2:30 in the morning making t-shirts that in fairness, I don't make really any money on those t-shirts. So I'm doing it for the Harlem Hobblers, a social run group that we've got, and I'm getting a couple of euros basically on each one, and that was it. And it's taking me hours to do, but I'm just loving it. But the good thing is, it's hopefully someone will come to me one day and say, we want, could you put my name on my running shirt that I'm doing the marathon in or something, and I can do something really creative. So I'm really excited about that. If you want to do 3 or 4 shirts the same, go to a printer. But if you want to do a one-off, then I think I can be. I'm not saying I'm going to be competitive in the price, but what I will say is, the money that I say, right, this is going to cost you 20 euros or whatever, that is money that's going to support me in my blogging. So if you do want to have a special one-off shirt done, then talk to me about it, and it might be that it is something I can do. There's, the printers are going to be a better quality. They can have multiple colors, but what they can't do is that little creativity that I can do. So And yeah, I think that's it. I think I think that's about all I want to sort of talk about. I just waffled on a little bit towards the end. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I don't really have anything in terms of no. No, well, right. In terms of, yeah, my little sign off and my little tips, I'm going to say what it is so special about this last year. So I talked briefly today in this podcast about hyperventilating, about panic and everything, but there it is light and day compared to my life in the corporate world. In the corporate world, yeah, and for many people it's perfect. They love it. But I was, earning enough money to pay the mortgage, and I thought I was happy. But it's only now that I'm doing this as a for 1 year now as a professional plogger that I realise this is where my passion lies. I always knew my passion lied in creativity, in running, in plogging, in trying to do something, and it has just been such a year of joy. There are, which is crazy because I think the benefit that is that hyperventilating. I kind of know that there's a value in it. That stress that I'm having in terms of can I find enough money to carry on doing this? It's worth it. That's it. The joy that I'm getting, and I think that's sometimes you just need to talk these things through. Is you can go through hardships, you can go through lots of different problems. The point is, the is it worth it? Is it worth that effort or that stress that you're putting in? And it totally is. This is without a doubt the thing I should be doing. Hopefully I can do it better, but it's definitely the thing I should be doing. And so that's the question is all that stress that you have, that everyone has stress. Just ask yourself is the question of that stress I have there, is it worth it to allow me to do these things? Is that what I'm trying to do? Is it worth it enough to have all of that stress, to have all of that worry, to have all of that the negatives? And for me, it really is. I think that's what I want to say today. Hopefully, this podcast is gonna sound okay. Just enjoy. Go out there, have some fun, and pick up some trash. Speak to you next week.